Hello, this is Andrew, and these are Panaracer Gravelking EXT 700 by 38c gravel tires. The EXT stands for extreme, which I assume means mud and probably snow and what other kinds of extreme stuff that you could throw at it. Although given the size of the lugs on here, I actually expected them to be a little bit bigger, but whether or not they need to be, I don't know. That's something that we'll, of course, test on the bike. But before we do that, need to get them on the scale. Panaracer is nice enough to have supplied on the SKU here, let's see if I can focus in on there, a claimed weight of 420 grams. So I don't even need to look that up. Let's get it on the scale. Oops. And let's put it around this way so I don't touch anything. And wow, 393.7, which is, well below 420 grams. Let's see what the other one is. .3, which is heavier, but still well below 420 grams. So I love a conservative claimed weight. Hopefully that doesn't translate into reduced performance, but that is something that we'll test. Hopefully I don't get to test the puncture resistance, but these tires are supposed to be extra puncture resistant, and they're supposed to be really nice tires. So let's get them mounted and go from there. Tire mounting time. I wasn't able to find a directional mounting indicator on the tire, so I'm going to assume that they are not directional. And looking at the tread, that doesn't surprise me. So let's get it on. So the tire went on pretty easy. Now we're going to try to pump it up, or try to get it to seat using this guy. Hopefully we don't have to use this guy. Before we do that, let's make sure that we lubricate everything in here. Some soapy water. Nope, that ain't gonna go. Take out the valve core, swap in the blaster tool. So I got the tire to seat properly, and then I ran some water, we'll do it again, some soapy water along the edge here. You can see here, it's on, but it is leaking a little bit around the rim. So while the bead's in there, and we could hear all the snapping and popping and stuff, it will need some sealant to get into, to fully cover those holes or those areas where the air is coming through. So as expected, it really just took sealant in the tires to get them to seal properly. 120 mil in both, pumped them up to 55 PSI, left them overnight. Rear wheel lost 1 pound, which is probably just the, getting the gauge on and off. And the front wheel lost, I think, 2 pounds. So very, very good sealing. I went for a ride this morning. They worked great. As you can probably tell from the bike, it was wet and dirty, but they worked really, really well, even on the road. It was not like a gravel ride. I just figured since they were on the wheels, I'd run them instead of changing the wheels out. So they worked really well. So with a few hundred miles on these Panaracer tires, I have to say that I really like them. They're perfect for these kind of conditions where, there's a ton of slop on the trail. They keep going. They shed mud okay. It's pretty deep here, so there's quite a bit of mud still on the tire. But you keep moving. You don't have to stop. You don't get off. You just keep going through the muck. On the road, they're pretty good too. I have no trouble keeping up with other people on road tires as long as they don't go over about 21-ish miles an hour. Obviously, you want to put more pressure in the tires when you are planning to ride on the road. I go with 50 on the road, and then out here in the slop about 35. But yeah, rolling resistance, obviously there is some penalty versus road tire, and you feel it once you start pushing over about 21 miles an hour. But other than that, I have almost nothing negative to say about them. They mount easy, they hold air really well, and all in, they're a great tire for both this kind of condition, and then if you just had one tire, it's not a bad tire even when the trail is dry, because while you are paying, I mean, obviously you can go for a more optimal tire. It's not a huge sacrifice unless you're racing or something. So I rate them. I think they're great. I love the tan sidewall. Yeah, that's it. Hopefully you found that useful. If you did, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments or whatever, just drop them below and I will get to them as soon as I can. Cheers.